Hi everyone, welcome back to Be Rich. Today I'm going to talk about Polycabs, Polycab wire, which has been in the news, and a lot of people have been asking about this. So I thought I'll talk about this. For people who do not know what Polycabs is a wire manufacturing company in India. They started way back in 1970 as a partnership firm, and they grew and they started building a brand called Polycab wires, which became very famous. And they've been dominating the market. They have a strong brand loyalty. And in 2019, they launched the IPO. The IPO was very well received, and subsequently, a lot of FIIs and DIs have invested in Polycabs. The company per se has very strong financials and it's had a very strong growth, and it has a very good dividend payout of almost 20%, and it's almost debt free. And so far, everything, whatever you have heard about it, there seems to be nothing wrong with the company. And that has led the company to be overvalued, in my books at least, according to Value Investor, what we look at. That's why we've not really looked at this stock, because it being at PE, even before the correction, the PE was at almost 43. Now, even post correction, after the 20% drop, the stock price PE still stands at 37, which is very, very high as a value investor. So, a lot of you have been curious since there's been a drop of 20%, and the company is a very well established, long history it has in India, and it launched its IPO in 2019, and it has remarkable growth during this time and has a very good dividend payout, and FIIs are invested in it. Should I be picking up this stock when you see a correction of this 20%? This is a good question. And usually we do say when market reacts, you should be level headed and cool, and you should move in and start sipping as long as you know what you're doing. The problem here lies that we do not really know what this income tax thing is all about. We do not know what precipitated this income tax action upon the company. And till we have a little more clarity on this, I would ask you to be a little cautious. What has happened so far, if you see it in the news, whatever has been publicly available, is in December, the Income Tax Department of India went and raided their offices and has collected troves of documents and evidence, it says. Initially, it had stepped in because they had not paid tax on certain portions of their sales, so they went in. Now, the Income Tax Department, in various releases, has said they have evidence of a 1,000 crore cash sale scam, in the sense that they've done unaccounted sales of around 1,000 crores in cash, which they have not accounted for at all. Meanwhile, the company has come forward and has said they're completely in compliance with everything till date. They've never broken the law and they've been paying taxes as per law. And they're saying they've been cooperating with the Income Tax Department in all its investigation, and even whatever the Income Tax Department is requesting in terms of information, they're sharing. And they've not received any written communication from the Income Tax Department till date. This is where it currently stands. So, what does this mean in terms of as an investor? I would say you have to be cautious. You have to wait and watch. Yes, it does seem very nice to see a correction of 20%. If you have not had this in your portfolio and you've been waiting for some time to buy this stock and you missed out on the IPO, and subsequently you've been waiting for the right price correction to buy this. But unfortunately, I would not say, even at this price point, even if it does come out saying that there is nothing done, and you see it all comes to nothing, not, and they're reprimanded with a fine and the company pays a fine and the whole thing blows over, which it can happen. I don't seem to be an astrologer, but looking at the history of the company and whatever they have done so far in terms of investment and all that, I don't think there should be a problem. Whatever, this would be a short term blip and it should get sorted out, and the company should be okay, maybe in a given amount of time. But the reason why I hesitate to give it 100% wipe is we all remember what happened with Satyam. I'm not saying this is a Satyam, it's got no comparison, but I just want to pull something out of history as an example, because this is a problem in India, because things are not very transparent when it comes to corporate governance. And though you have people coming and reassuring the public and saying things, as a small investor like us, it's very hard for us to see through the fog and see where the truth is, where the truth lies. And our investments are such that it's our hard earned money, and we have taken a lot of effort to build that capital, and we want to place a capital in such positions where we know it is safe at least. Even if we do not get troves of returns, at least we are preserving our capital. The last thing you want to do gets wiped out. And it is still very fresh and very new what is happening with this company and the income tax department. And you never know how this will play out. All big investigations in the world, if you see, which have led to collapses of companies and all that, it all starts with red herring. It starts with something else. They start investigating something which leads the investigators into something much bigger and wider. Is that the case here? I do not know. From whatever information which has been given from the initial reports, whatever, you really cannot discern this way or that way. Yes, I understand your enthusiasm that you want to buy into Polycabs. A month back or two, without this issue, it was still overvalued. And even with this 20% correction, it is still overvalued. So even if you discount all this news, the company share price is still valued very steeply. And there are lots of other companies which are available in the market, which we have been asking you to look at, which are at much better price points. The tendency for us is when we see the market reacting and a correction on something, even if it wasn't there in our radar, we'll suddenly put it on our radar because we think there's an opportunity. Being opportunistic like that is a very poor habit to have because it usually tends to lead to getting hurt. It's like trying to grab something which is moving at high velocity and you'll end up cutting your fingers. So, my advice would be to wait and watch. Even if you have been thinking about Polycabs, it's been on your watch list, it's still too early to buy. On the flip of it, let's say you have already invested. You invested in the IPO of Polycabs and you've been allotted the shares and you've been holding on to it for some time and you're feeling very happy about it. Now, what do you do when you see this correction? When you see this correction, also, I don't see any reason for you to panic. If you see the price of the share since the launch, the share it was launched on IPO at around 600 rupees. And even if you entered it at 800, 700 rupees, you still stand at a very handsome profit. People who should be nervous are people who entered Polycabs at the 4,000, 5,000 mark. Those people would feel nervous, but I would still say to wait and watch and not to panic and sell. I don't see any reason to panic and sell, but at the same time, there isn't really no reason to move in and buy the shares also. So right now, the best thing to do in Polycab is if you are in Polycabs, if you do have it in your portfolio, to follow the news and keep yourself abreast of the information and try and read much as you can and talk to your financial advisors and make sure that you have understood the financial information given in the media correctly. So this is for people who own Polycabs. If people don't have Polycabs on their portfolio now, I wouldn't still say it's time to buy. I would still say it's time to wait and watch. And even tomorrow or day after they're given a clean chit, the price is not going to recover overnight by 20% again. It will take time to recover and you'll have more than enough opportunity to look at the shares again. This is my thoughts on Polycab. I hope you guys have understood. It is a great company. Aside from the events of the last 2 months, they have a very good, strong brand and they pay very good dividends and they are debt free. So it's something to think about and consider, definitely. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you found it informative and entertaining. And I'll see you in the next one soon. Bye.
It's a great privilege and honor that so many of you in thousands have subscribed to my channel and have supported me. I have written 2 books in English, The Alchemy of Money and Ordinary Stocks, Extraordinary Profits. These books are published by us and are ready. If you want to procure a copy, send us a message to the WhatsApp number given below and my team would respond to you. If you want an Amazon Kindle copy, you can click the link below. Finally, those who wish to consult with me can send a mail to berichenglish@gmail.com. Once again, I thank you for your support. If you like this video, press the subscribe button of my channel, hit the like button and turn on the bell notification.